How did we get here?
How did we get here?
Part 3?
Part 3? What? This channel is really blasted off, wouldn't you say, Dewey?
So I'd say it's blasting off again!
Yeah! From crazy steps in space exploration and wild forms of transportation.
Today's list will feature all of this and more as we count down our top 10 mysterious things you might just see for the first time in your life. Part 3!
Welcome back to the Hive, everyone. I'm your queen bee, Rachel Fisher.
And I'm Dewey Stewart, and I guess that means I'm a drone?
Yeah, you're like a worker bee.
I'll be a worker bee. Starting us off at number 10 is a Google Doc chat. Okay, guys, this is not that mysterious, but I'm just gonna be honest with you on this one.
God, really?
The last time Rachel and I did a mysterious things you might see for the first time in your life part 2, well, we were just working on our script, just, whatever, doing whatever in our Google Doc, and then all of a sudden I see this little notification that came up at the top right of my screen. And it was kind of weird because we already have messages to each other on a different platform in the office, but then I looked at this little thing, and I clicked on it, and it was a Google Doc chat. Did you know that Google Docs has a chat? I didn't. We both didn't know until that day. And honestly, it kind of changed my world that day. So we may have used it again on this one, but I don't know. I just had to put it number 10 because it's been rocking my world. So there you go.
And bringing into number 9, we have Jurassic Park. Oh God. And moving into number 9, we have Jurassic Park, sort of. Well, not Jurassic Park per se, but close. I mean, I hope they don't bring back dinosaurs, if I'm being honest, but the technology in Jurassic Park isn't impossible. Some extinct animals are close to being brought back to life, and we just may see it happen in our lifetime. Animals like the dodo, the thylacine, aurochs, the ground sloth, the stellar sea cow, the quagga, and even the woolly mammoth are on the way. The Purian ibex is actually the first one who was technically brought back to life after it went extinct, then made extinct a second time. After collecting cells from the last frozen specimen, they were able to successfully clone a calf that would only live for a few minutes. So really, the question isn't if it will happen, it is when. The debate as to whether we actually should, especially for a social species like the woolly mammoth, is still ongoing, but it remains a major goal for scientists to see if they can save key species and bring them back to life.
Coming in at number 8 is Hobbiton. Now, how many of you out there are huge fans of Lord of the Rings? I am a minor fan, I will say, and have seen most of the movies and read the first Hobbit book, but much to my surprise, did you know that you can actually take a trip into the Lord of the Rings universe in real life without watching it on a screen or even reading it on a page? Yeah, the actual set they used in the movies for Hobbiton is an actual place you can visit in the mighty Waikato region in New Zealand. Every day, many tourists and Lord of the Rings fans from all over the world visit the Shire and take pics in one of their all-time favorite movie sets. Also, it goes without saying, but this place is absolutely stunning. In March of 1999, the crew started building Bag End and was once on the land of a sheep farm, and after filming the movies, it has stayed there ever since. This place even has an amazing cafe that you can chew and sip on a bunch of amazingly delicious Hobbit treats. So don't mind us, but Ray and I will be leaving you right about now. Yeah, let's go, let's get. I'm just kidding, we couldn't leave you, could we?
Number 7, the Monarch butterfly migration. If you love butterflies, then lift your eyes to the sky. If you don't live in Mexico or California, you may have to plan your next vacation there as soon as we possibly can. The Monarch butterfly migration is one of the craziest yearly events that I certainly want to see for the first time in my life. In fact, it's happening around this time of year. Around September and October, these beautiful orange butter babies migrate from Canada and eastern US to Mexico and California. And I'm not just talking like a couple hundred, we are talking millions upon millions. Millions of monarch butterflies covering the trees in such numbers, they almost replace the leaves themselves. This is a one-way trip for these little guys as they will live out the rest of their lives here, but don't worry, they laid enough eggs on the way home that future generations will complete the journey.
Coming in at our number 6 spot is the Nazca Lines. Most of us have heard of crop circles before, but what about the Nazca Lines? The Nazca Lines, just like crop circles, are actually named geoglyphs and are located in the Peruvian coastal plain about 250 miles south of Lima, Peru. But whoa, wait, Dewey, what is a geoglyph? Well, a geoglyph is a large design produced on the ground and usually formed by clastic rocks, stones, stone fragments, gravel, or earth. Now, the Nazca Lines were first discovered in the 1930s when pilots were flying over the Nazca Desert and came across these massive drawings. The ancient ancient Nazca civilization made up these drawings consisting of animals, humans, and plants around 2,000 years ago. They are said to be over 100 of these drawings spanning a total of 50 square kilometers, and while many can't identify who and what created these massive drawings, no one alive actually knows the reason behind them. Scholars theorize that these were massive signs to give incoming sailors directions, or that they were a way to communicate with those who float and keep an eye on us from above. Now, who is that exactly? Oh, well, it's aliens.
Number 5, the Avatar Cave. This next one, like I'm dying. If I got to go and see something like this, I think, I'd be fine. I could like die the next day. It's just so beautiful. The Waitomo glowworm caves in New Zealand look like they came right out of your dreams. Inside the cave is a cascade of glowing lights made by spectacular little creatures called Arachnocampa luminosa. They are bioluminescent glowworms that create the illusion you are floating in a cave full of stars. But this isn't the only place you can witness something this stunning. If you're a little claustrophobic and caves aren't your thing, head to the Maldives and walk among the sea of stars. Bioluminescent plankton litter the beaches, causing your footprints to glow a vibrant blue-green. Stress caused by the waves leads the plankton to emit the light on top of an internal chemical reaction. Who else wants to plan a trip to one of these places? I've already got my bags packed, but I just need to save the money and figure out the planning and how to get there.
Coming in at number 4 is Vantablack. Want to hear the darkest true story here on Earth that is proven to be real? Great. The darkest material on Earth is something called Vantablack. Vantablack is a nanomaterial that is darker than any other substance on Earth. I literally mean it is the darkest thing on Earth. If you ever wondered what it would be like to try and stare right into the center of a black hole, this would be the closest you would get to doing it here on this planet. Vantablack was developed in the UK by Surrey Nanosystems in 2015, and it is actually just a collection of vertical carbon tubes that are grown on a substrate. Vantablack absorbs 99.98% of all light that hits its surface, which means the human eye basically sees nothing when it looks into its deep, dark void. This one is really entertaining to me because I know what pitch black looks like. I grew up in the sticks, aka the country, where there were no lights for us to see anything at night, and I'll never forget the very first time my best friend from the city came to visit me back home, and when we were out driving one night, he was like, yo, you guys actually like drive in the pitch black out here? And I'm like, yeah we do. And those country roads got nothing on Vantablack by the sounds of it. So that's really cool.
Number 3, Uber planes. Uber revolutionized the late night ride home by making hitching a ride convenient and hilarious most of the time. Their next step? Aviation Uber. In December 2020, a $7 million investment was made by Uber into Joby Aviation to bring their services into the air. Joby plans on developing all electrical vehicles for vertical takeoff and landing passenger aircrafts. This new service will be called Uber Elevate and will lay the foundations for aerial ride sharing, which definitely creates the image of the futuristic city pretty real. This new development would take customers into the city within minutes as opposed to sitting an hour in traffic. With the pandemic, this project was put on hold, but rest assured it remains in the works.
Coming in at number 2 is Superman's Fortress of Solitude. Did you know that it's actually real? Yeah, if any of you have ever seen the old Christopher Reeve Superman movies or even Superman Returns reboot from 2006, yikes, you might remember the giant white crystals and ice pillars that made up his humble abode. Well, to be honest, it's actually real. This mysterious spot named the Cave of Crystals was first discovered back in 2000 in a zinc mine beneath Nica in the Chihuahua state of Mexico. Explorers found these 30 feet high and 5 feet wide crystals in the cave after they drained it of water. The gypsum crystals are so pure that scientists are unable to accurately date them using conventional techniques. But researchers have discovered what appears to be bacteria from 50,000 years ago within these crystals, but not much else is known about them as they have now allowed the cave to reflood. So for a short time, the Fortress of Solitude was a real thing. Too bad, so sad for me, but maybe there's more of these things on planet Earth, and if there are, we gotta find them.
And last but not least, in number 1, we have space elevators. Move aside, Willy Wonka, your crazy traveling elevator will be nothing compared to this insane invention. The race to space isn't just about going to Mars, it's about how to make it accessible to people like us. Maybe for like a weekend trip. Instead of rockets going back and forth, NASA says they have a basic concept for a space elevator, but the most promising design is from Tokyo-based Obayashi Corp. Crazier still, they want to have it built for 2050 and China wants to beat that by 2045. Oh, China's so competitive. Obayashi has a mini elevator prototype called Stars Me that will essentially simulate what this elevator would encounter in a weightless environment. One plan for the space elevator involves tethering it to an asteroid or the moon as like a kind of anchor. It would essentially be like a massive cable that uses nanotubes, creating a pathway to space. Like the elevator would kind of like rotate around it using magnets. It's so crazy. I know it sounds like something straight out of Xenon in the 21st century. Like zoom, 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 my supernova girl. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video,
please like and subscribe. Please. Keep smashing those like and subscribe buttons and leave us a comment down in the comment section and let us know which one of these is your favorite. Yeah. And of course, if you want a
shout out,
but also maybe even a
part 4.
Do we want a part 4? I think we do.
Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher.
And I've been your host, Rachel Fisher.
No, Dewey. Your name's Dewey.
Fine, my name's Dewey.
There you go. That's good. See? It works.
We'll see you all back here very soon.
Take care.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Make my heart go boom, boom. My supernova. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Make my heart go.